This one's called The Girl on the Phone. I was walking home late last night down the cobbled streets of the sour, whiskey-smelling south side of New York City. I had watched a Colombian movie, Spanish with English subs, Mamo, about an estranged mother and her daughter and her daughter's daughter, and how the three briefly find love, comfort, and solace in one another. The girl walking ahead of me on the footpath was on the phone crying, and every 4 or 5 sentences repeating, "How can you do this to me? How can you leave me alone?" Now, I love people who are unafraid to get drunk. I love sitting down with them and hearing their drunk stories. There's an honesty in their tears, a vulnerability in their lies, an indiscretion in their warmth and abandon that even the best of us have to fake in our best composed moments. And so I followed the slightly drunk, deeply disturbed girl until I had to cross the road and walk over to the other side. Have I really been able to go over to the other side? I thought of my last 2 breakdowns in the last couple of years. The letters I had written had come back unanswered. All 61 of them. I seemed to have sent them to a wrong address. In my late teens and early 20s, I never cried when the men came and went. I was confident and brave and uncaring. I had the kind of arrogance that comes with youth. They could leave, but I knew they would come back someday, and even if they didn't, others would. But by the time I started approaching 30, I lost that faith in them and in me. And so I cried the last 2 times they left, on the phone, like that girl, repeating, "How can you do this to me? How can you leave me alone?" I wanted to stop the girl on the road and shake her up and say, "We need to be young again. We need to be shameless, reckless, brave, and hopeful. There are too many of us unseeing the dreams we had once dared to chase." I wanted to tell the girl that I too had cried on the phone, but the men had left anyway. They were meant to leave anyway. I had cried and begged and pleaded with them to stay, but you cannot make people stay when they're determined to go away. My love for those men had been hypothetical, assumptions based on insufficient evidence. I wanted to tell the girl that in the last few months that I have been alone, I did not regret that they had gone. What I regret is that I had humbled myself for them. To love and not be loved in return is on behalf of all those people who had not. If a sorry is what you're waiting for, then let me tell you, it will not come. If a sorry will help you move on, then say a sorry to yourself, the one they won't say, and do move on. I wanted to tell the girl of the sex worker whom I had met on the streets of London at 4 a.m. when I was sitting on a park bench outside my hotel in Kensington, crying and singing on the phone. Tare dhori dhori mone kori ধরতে গেলেম আর পেলেম না ধরি ধরি মনে করি ধরতে গেলেম আর পেলেম না দেখেছি দেখেছি রূপসাগরে মনের মানুষ কাঁচা সোনা. I tried and I tried to get you, but you were always just a little out of my reach, just a little too gone. Take your time to get over, Katerina Vasilieva, the illegal sex worker from Budapest in London, had told me in broken English. There is no rush to forget anything she had said, but when you do move on, when you do forget, make sure it's absolutely clean with no dirty traces left. I wanted to stop the girl in front of me on the road and tell her that there is no point in asking how some people live with themselves after damaging other people's homes. I wanted to tell her that what follows these phone calls to unwilling lovers is regret. I regret that I had cried and begged and pleaded with them to stay. I regret that my mother never taught me how to live by myself, and my father and my sister and my neighbor and my God and my dog and my cat always spoke of adjustments and compromises and friendships and love, prescriptions to a happy life, surrounded by family and friends. There was no prescription on how to make it on my own, on how to watch a movie all by myself alone in a theater full of people, on how to order for a 3-course or a 2-course or a 1-course or any meal at all for myself in a restaurant alone, surrounded by cheer and laughter and whispered promises and sweet kisses, on how to go to a flea market or a park or a picnic on a Sunday afternoon alone, on how to live by myself, with myself, on my own, alone. I wish I could tell the girl that the person she was on the phone with would leave anyway. I wish I could tell her, you are not an Airbnb room, sister, where the people can come and go. Your body will not be their holiday destination, their weekend getaway, their staycation. You are worth more. I wish I could share with her the prescription on how to make it on her own. But by the time I got the medication, that girl was long gone. Thank you.
Oh, nice. Thank you.